Oh, what a revelation about Sutton. I just had a light bulb moment while rewatching Season 12, Episode 17, something that's been staring me in the face this whole time. I used to buy into her whole, awkward, quirky girl act, but now, not so much. It's like a fog has lifted, and I'm finally seeing Sutton for what she really is. Let's start with the pattern. Diana hit the nail on the head when she said, "You go for people when they're at their weakest." I mean, wow, how has no one pointed this out before? Think about it. The first major conflict she had was with Crystal, and what did Sutton do when Crystal started talking about race? She just flat out shut it down. "I am not talking about race," she says. Did she even hear herself? She didn't want Crystal to express her opinion. That's strike one. Then, we have the Erica drama. Erica, in the middle of a divorce and going through hell, and what does Sutton do? She makes the entire thing about herself, playing the victim when Erica is at her absolute lowest. Classic Sutton move. And don't even get me started on the time Sutton went after Diana, who had just given birth to a stillborn baby. Diana was struggling, grieving, and what does Sutton do? She starts poking fun at the fact that Diana was supposed to be on bed rest while also making it about her own 2 miscarriages. Like, what? I'm not sure which is worse, her timing or her complete lack of empathy. Oh, and the whole Lisa Rinna situation. Just a few weeks after her mother passed away, Sutton decides to really turn it up and roast Lisa for good measure. Who does that? But wait, it gets better. As soon as rumors about Kyle's marriage start circulating, Sutton, guess what, decides to go after her too, while Kyle's at her lowest point. Do you see the pattern? Because I'm starting to think Sutton has a real talent for kicking people when they're down. And now, this season, Sutton's picked Dorit as her next target. Dorit's going through a divorce and PTSD from a traumatic robbery, and bam, here comes Sutton, swooping in like a vulture. How convenient. Honestly, I never really had strong feelings about Sutton one way or another, but now I'm convinced this girl is either narcissistic or sociopathic. Let's not forget her classic line, "I'm sorry I didn't have a gun put to my head." That's the energy we're dealing with here. I rewatched the episode and still can't wrap my head around why anyone would be defending her. She makes me uncomfortable with her passive-aggressive, backhanded comments. She's literally her mother's daughter, but somehow she's blind to it. How old is she again? Because she really needs to stop acting like a petulant child throwing tantrums. And don't even get me started on the alcohol. She's so clearly dependent on it, but she plays it off like it's no big deal. Her good friend Garcelle even warned her that if she wasn't careful, she'd end up just like her mother, and guess what? She's on her way. Garcelle can see it, but Sutton's fans are too busy making excuses for her. Let's be real, Sutton didn't do anything impressive to get where she is. She hit the marriage jackpot and boom, there goes her claim to fame. Her boutique? Just another vanity project for a rich lady. Let's not pretend it's anything more. Sutton's volatile, erratic, and prone to tantrums. People stick around because, well, sometimes she's not being awful and because her money opens doors. But deep down, we all know the truth. Sutton's got some of the worst low-key racist behavior. And it's wild to me that people still excuse her actions, while Dorit got raked over the coals for her mistakes. But Sutton, oh, she's just quirky, right? Is it just me, or does everyone who likes LVP only do so because of Vanderpump Rules? I'm on Season 9, watching the whole Radar Online debacle unfold, and I keep hearing that LVP is the fan favorite. I can't for the life of me figure out why. Seriously, what's the appeal here? The woman has zero integrity, can't own up to a single mistake, and lies on her kids' leaves. She treats her so-called friends like trash, and the humor she once had? Yeah, not so much anymore. So, what exactly are her redeeming qualities besides saving a few animals? People treat her like royalty, but queen of what? Deflecting, gaslighting, and doing both really poorly. And now, when she's finally backed into a corner and can't talk her way out of it, she's just going to quit the show instead of taking any responsibility. Okay, sure, Queen. I actually liked Lisa up until about season 7. I was going to dive into Vanderpump Rules after this, but honestly, after watching how she's handled herself these past few seasons, I'm not sure I can stomach more of her. Is it even worth it? Will it change my opinion? Because at this point, VPR has made me really dislike her. The way she coddles and defends the men on that show is incredibly disappointing. And guess what? She's still doing it. So, I'm watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 8 for the first time, and I've reached the episode where Dorit has her fashion show. And wow, Kyle is so mad about what Dorit said in Erica's room in Berlin. But here's the kicker. It's the second event this season where Kyle completely blows up. The first was at the Bella magazine cover party. In both cases, she's way more upset about other people not defending her than actually being mad at Dorit. First, it was LVP, because who doesn't want to defend Kyle, right? And now it's Erica. And let's not forget Teddy's little gem. Erica's silence is just as aggravating as Erica being angry. Oh really, Teddy? Because that totally makes sense. These two women are acting like literal babies, and somehow everyone around them is just so patient. I'm not sure how. Maybe patience is the true luxury in Beverly Hills. Of a Faye Trashnick at the table again. Seriously, why do they keep letting this trash into the group? I get it, she's desperate for some airtime, but you'd think Kathy of all people would see right through her by now. Faye has been a con artist for years. She's the living embodiment of fake it till you make it, only she never actually made it. But she knows how to latch onto the right people, run in the right circles, and get what she wants, all while someone else picks up the tab. Kato Kalin might have been the most famous opportunist from that whole disaster, but at least he finally vanished. Faye? Nope, she's still hanging around, leeching off the rest of us. I'm currently on season 5, and let me just say, I adore Kim Richards, flaws and all. Like, how could you not? She's just so adorable and sweet, right? I mean, sure, she's a bit on the wild side, but honestly, she reminds me of the women in my family. So, you know, chaotic but lovable. Lol. I especially loved how sweet she was to all her fans at that convention in season 4. Just pure, unfiltered kindness. Oh, and let's not forget when she told Ken to STFU. Thank you, Kim, for saying what we were all thinking. Someone had to do it. Now, was she always the best friend? Maybe not. But you've got to give her credit for actually trying to stay clean for her kids. I mean, it's a mess, but it's her mess, and at least she's trying. Out of all the ladies, she's honestly the most real, and that's saying something in a sea of drama queens. Oh, don't hate me, but I'm just now getting around to catching up on season 14. I'm at the episode where Sutton, Kyle, and Garcelle are heading to Augusta. And hold up, I just realized Crystal hasn't even been on this season. Honestly, I was a fan of Crystal until her last season. And can we talk about Hip Hop Rob? That guy was chef's kiss. He was a solid house husband. But then Anne Marie entered the picture, and suddenly it felt like Crystal's whole vibe flipped. I'm pretty sure there was some kind of tension between them before Anne Marie even joined the cast. Anyway, I did meet Crystal once, and she was actually super sweet and down to earth in person. Look, let's be clear, Sutton is not Jesus. This is my final word on the matter. I respect the people who can admit that Sutton's a total train wreck of a villain, but still enjoy watching the chaos unfold. Or the folks defending her just for being on the show. Fine, whatever. But these people who act like Sutton is some kind of saint, like she's an innocent little lamb who's never done anything wrong. Please. She's just defending herself from all the evil cast members, and her behavior is somehow totally fine and normal. Get out of here with that nonsense. It's nice to finally see some balance in this sub when her name pops up, as opposed to the past where her fan club would swoop in like a bunch of pearl-clutching minions, parroting every word Sutton says, whether it's on the show or after the cameras stop rolling, and then downvoting anyone who dares to say something like, "Hey, that wallet comment was awful," or question her behavior. Do they even hear themselves? Are they real people or just Sutton's echo chamber? Look, as a fan of the show, I'm genuinely curious about Sutton's upbringing and how it shapes the way she reacts to things. But I'm also not here for yet another Sutton outburst where she's the center of attention and everyone else is expected to bow down and worship her. Yes, she's had some light-hearted moments, but let's not forget, she's been downright terrible to people when they're at their lowest, bullied new cast members, and somehow, she's always the victim. She's the biggest pick-me cast member on this show. Yes, even bigger than Dorit. This is exactly why I can't stand any superfan of one person. These women are all messy, and they all have their disastrous moments of glory. On Reddit, I enjoy a good back-and-forth debate about who's worth rooting for, but this whole summon the demons thing just makes people seem completely unhinged, and it's impossible to take them seriously. I'm not trying to change anyone's mind, but if you want to disagree with me, go for it. But it's so clear that these extreme fans forget that this is a highly produced, semi-scripted TV show. People, it's entertainment. Sit back, enjoy it, and don't let it send your blood pressure into the stratosphere. The standing on RHOBH is out of control. It's more intense than any other franchise, and that's saying something. If the stans love you, you can do no wrong. If they hate you, you can't do anything right. It's bizarre, and it's all fueled by this deep hatred they have for the housewives they despise. Looking at you, Kyle. Here's a thought. It's okay to like a housewife, but also admit when she's done something wrong. This sub is bad, but honestly, it's nothing compared to the madness on some of the other ones. Does everyone who worships LVP only do so because of Vanderpump Rules? I'm on season 9 and just saw the whole Radar Online drama unfold. I keep hearing that LVP is the fan favorite, but I can't figure out why. She's got no integrity, avoids taking responsibility for anything she does, lies about her kids, treats her so-called friends terribly, and honestly isn't even that funny anymore. So what's left? Oh right, saving animals. But is that enough to make her the queen of what, exactly? Deflecting and gaslighting everyone, poorly, might I add. And now she's finally backed into a corner and realizes she can't just BS her way out of this one. So what does she do? Quit the show, of course. God forbid she actually takes accountability. Okay, queen. I used to like Lisa, up until about season 7. I was even planning to watch Vanderpump Rules after this, but now, I'm honestly not sure if I can handle watching her act like this for another season, especially after everything she's pulled in the last few seasons. Is it worth watching? Could it change my mind about her? Honestly, VPR made me dislike her even more. The way she coddles and protects the men on that show is so disappointing. And, surprise, surprise, she's still doing it. Eileen appreciation post-time. Alright, so I really love Eileen. Like, she's so refreshingly genuine, down-to-earth, simple, and straight to the point. Basically, the exact opposite of the drama machines that usually run this show. Never a hint of meanness, not even for a second. Honestly, she's the most normal person to ever step foot in this chaos, and I didn't expect that at all when she first showed up, especially given her background as an actress. I'm in season 6 now, and guess what? Eileen's the only one who's ever actually confronted LVP. Yep, you read that right. She made LVP squirm by asking her to, just be genuine for once. And did she do it with a touch of respect and a whole lot of honesty? Oh, absolutely. Even Kyle was like, wait, what? She was stunned that someone finally had the guts to call out the queen of manipulation. And for the record, I'm saying this as a huge LVP fan, so it's not like I'm just taking sides. I'm just here for the realness. I'm really going to miss her when she's gone from the show. It's gonna be a void that no one else can fill. Also, I liked Eileen for more than just the drama. I mean, who can forget the moment she casually talked about spending like $20 on a purse? Pure class, really. She just felt so genuine, and yeah, her friendship with Rinna? A little weird, but hey, it worked somehow.